up, YouTube? I'm back. So, the second episode of God of High School was great. It was even better than the first one because there was a lot of things that happened that we need to talk about. So, let's get right to it. So, in last week's episode, Mori and Kang Masuk were clashing against each other while the battle royale was going on. Mori had Mira's sword because he took it back from Kang Masuk, if I remember well. But because Mira doesn't have her glasses, she can't really see well. And he thought that Mori was actually stealing her sword. So, what she did while they were clashing in the air, she kind of broke his neck. That was kind of funny because I didn't think that's how it was gonna end, how this battle was gonna end in the preliminaries. So that was kind of funny to me. A little bit later in the episode, something that I really liked is that we learned the main character's goal. Why they want to win, the God of High School tournament. And Mira's goal is basically to revive her dojo's family, because her dad is dead, so she's the only heir to that fighting style. So I thought that was pretty cool to know. Then we saw what Han's goal is, and he said it was money, but from what we saw in the episode, it's more than that. It's a lot more than that, because we saw some flashes of his memories, and it seems like he has someone really important to him in the hospital that is ill. So it seems like he wants money to help that specific person. And while I think a little bit earlier before he told that he wants money. It seems like the technology that they have on their wrist that can heal basically anything. He thought about it and thought that maybe it could heal the important person that he's trying to save. So I thought all of that was really interesting. And then a little bit later in the episode, when Mori dropped Mira's sword in the water, it kind of got serious a little bit. Mira slapped Mori. That's the most serious that I saw these two's relationship so far. So I was kind of surprised that Mira did that, but obviously that sword is really important to her, even though it's a wooden sword. But yeah, man, she went to search for it. Then we saw Mori search for it with her, and then we also saw Han use big ass lights to help them search for the sword. So I really like this scene right there because we saw a little bit of development from their relationship as friends and everything like that. So that's something that I really liked about this week's episode. Now, later in the episode, the second round of the preliminaries started, and it was way different than it was in last week's episode. I'm guessing that in last week's episode, the battle royale was to eliminate all the weak ones, and then in this week's episode, it's basically the strongest one fighting. But something that happened in the waiting room was King Masuk attacking. I don't remember his name, my bad, but okay, so I went to check his name, and his name is Go Gumbo. And if it wasn't for Mori, King Masuk was going to knock him out because I don't even think that he actually hit Go Gambo, but his nose still bled. So that was kind of interesting to see. It was an incredible scene because Mori was quote unquote sleeping and then when King Masuk kicked Gogembo, we just saw Mori basically saving him. So I really like that scene too. We saw some of the big three matchups in the tournament. It was one-on-one. So Mira went against a guy named Han Daicho, and he beat him up pretty easily. Then we saw Mori go against the Beast, and it was another easy battle. So they went through the first rounds pretty easily. And then Han went against Yes Man. That's a kind of funny name, but it was also an easy battle. So they got rid of the bad weak matchups in the tournament. Then we saw other characters that it seems are going to be important, but I don't think I need to talk about their battles because it was pretty quick too. But yeah, man, the first round was pretty easy. They went through it pretty fast, Then we saw the fight between Kang Masuk and Bo Gumbo, So that was an amazing fight. It was pretty one-sided, but it was pretty good too. The animation and the art was amazing. It was fluid, so it was great. We all know from what we saw in last week's episode that Kang Masuk was one of the strongest, characters in the tournament, and he basically handled Bogambo easily, man. There was some of the scenes where he hit kind of Bogambo on the head. It seems like he like cracked his neck, but that didn't happen. It was pretty gruesome, and then Bogambo actually retaliate. He used one of his attack, Yin Yang Balance Strike. So that was pretty cool. And I think he's a Tai Chi user. So his martial art is Tai Chi, and his attack Yin Yang Balance Strike. I actually thought that it was gonna do something, but what King Masuk did is kind of redirect the energy of the attack underground, so that propelled Bogambo in the air, so his attack didn't do anything at all. And while after that, what happened is that King Masuk basically broke Bogambo's both of his arms, so that was gruesome as hell. I don't remember if he broke one of his legs, but it was gruesome, man. So what Mori did is that he intervened from the fight, and he's not supposed to do that, but he did because it wasn't great to see, man. It was gruesome. It was disgusting, kind of. But yeah, man, when Mori intervened, all the organizers of the tournament, they went all around Mori, I thought that was a pretty good scene too. It was pretty cool. All four of them, not just one, but four of them went at Mori, so that was pretty cool. Anyway, we had a backstory for Kang Masuk, we saw how weak he once was, which was interesting, and then he was approached by somebody, and that somebody, for me, in my opinion, honestly, looked pretty evil, man. We don't know who he was, but he taught some of the attacks that Kang Masuk is using in the tournament, but that dude looked pretty evil. I don't know if he'll come back in the story, but hopefully we'll know who he is, because with that one red eye, he looked pretty evil, man. It was disgusting how evil he looked. During the episode, we kind of learn what Mori and Kang Masuk's fighting style are, and while Mori was fighting in the first round, Kang Masuk kind of said that he uses Taekwondo when he punches, which is interesting because it seems like maybe Mori is using more than one fighting style in his fighting style, if you know what I mean. But yeah, man, it's gonna be interesting to learn a little bit more about Mori, and we also learned that Kang Masuk actually uses what it's called. It's called Northern style Taekwondo, so that's really interesting. But yeah, man, King Masuk was kind of really mad at Mori because he intervened in the fight and kicked the hell out of him, so he kind of used a dark attack, man. It was pretty dark. I think it was called Cheryoke or something like that, I don't know how to pronounce it, but he learned that from his quote unquote master. And what Mori did is kind of counter it with Renewal Taekwondo, and then he hit him like 3 or 4 times in a row, and then he basically knocked King Masuk out, so that's how strong Mori is. And before Mori even attacked, some of the organizers were going to do that, but Mori just jumped on them to go fight King Masuk, so that was a really great scene from Mori and King Masuk. The way that Mori just dismantled him easily like that was impressive, man. Anyhow, one of the last things that we're going to talk about in this review is this dude right there. His name is Park Mujin, and we actually saw him at the beginning of the episode. I think he was in a government facility, and he was entering without permission, so there was a lot of guns pointing at him, and it seemed, I don't know what he did, but maybe he just destroyed the facility and killed everyone in it. But he had the same mark on his hand that we saw in the on the island in the first episode, so it seems like he's the leader, and he's pretty interesting because he was doing a kind of technique that was immobilizing Mori, so that's really interesting. But that's one of the things that happened in the episode, man. I just wanted to wait for it at the end of the episode to talk about what happened at the beginning of the episode. So yeah, man, he's an interesting character. It seems like he's the strongest of the group, so we'll see. But yeah, man, it was a great episode. I really like the way that Mira and Han were, looking at Mori for what he did. They were pretty happy. So I really like how their relationship are developing. So we'll have to see how it will even more develop in future episodes. But let me know what you thought about this week's episode in the comments down below. Let me know what you think is gonna happen next. It was a great ass episode. It was even better than the first one, so I can't wait for the other ones. But yeah, man, I do God of High School reviews every Monday, so subscribe for that. But I also do other anime related things, like usually do Black Clover reviews on Tuesdays. I do Sword Art Online reviews on Saturdays, One Piece reviews on Saturdays, and this week I will begin my Boruto Naruto Next Generation reviews again on this Sunday, so stay tuned for all of that. Follow me at Anime Specialist on Twitter and Instagram, and like, comment, subscribe. It would help my channel a lot. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Anime Specialist out. Peace.